Plaintiff Linda Paul dated the defendant, and she claims when she was 7 months pregnant with his child, he threatened to cut the baby out of her. As a result, Linda got a 3-year restraining order against the defendant, and she's suing him today for emotional distress and defamation of character. Defendant Travis Pauly denies threatening to harm Linda or his unborn child, and says he didn't even know his daughter was born as a result of the restraining order. Travis says after her birth, Laura was so negligent that their daughter was temporarily taken away from her and placed in foster care. So Travis is countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
All right, I met Travis in 2008, and I have a restraining order against him, which is for 3 years, and it's still in effect. The reason why is because when I was 7 months pregnant, he threatened to cut Mishka out of me.
That's a lie, Your Honor. She's 15 years older than me, and she
Did
actually
you threaten
immature.
to cut the baby out?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Were you all arguing?
No.
You weren't arguing. He just, y'all walking around at the dinner table. It just doesn't make sense that if you're not arguing, that the father of your child would tell you he's going to cut the baby out.
Well,
that is usually accompanied by an argument.
He would do things like that just out of the blue. He'd just say something.
All right.
Time before, it was in November, it was Thanksgiving, he came to my house and he wanted to come in, and I told him that I wasn't letting him in. So, and I was 6 months pregnant at the time. And he kicked the door in.
Your Honor, I didn't
and
quiet, sir.
And hit me in the stomach with the knob. I had to go to the emergency room. I have the report on that.
What did they determine?
That I had stomach trauma.
Okay. Why don't you circle that on your report? That you had stomach trauma. Sir, what about this 3-year restraining order?
She had lied about it in order to keep me from my daughter and out of my daughter's life.
And did the judge believe she was lying?
I'm still going to court and battling.
You didn't have a hearing?
Yes, we've had many hearings, but nothing pursuant.
No, we're talking about the hearing on the restraining order, not many hearings. Did you have a hearing regarding the restraining order?
Yes, we did.
And did you win in that hearing?
He said he would just do the temporary and the full effect.
That means you didn't win.
Okay.
And that means the judge believed her. Were you prosecuted for kicking in the door
no,
and
Your
risking
Honor.
the life of your child?
No, Your Honor.
Did she call the police on you
No,
for
she
that?
didn't. I took her to the emergency room, and I had just opened the door. I mean, it was an accident. And, you know, I took her to the emergency room because I was concerned. She was concerned
What
at
was an
first
accident?
that she got, that she was hit in the stomach with
How?
the doorknob.
Tell me how it went down.
I got home after work, and first thing in the morning, it was about, gosh, maybe 5 or 6 in the morning, because I was working the graveyard at the, restaurant. And I got home, and we had an argument because she thought I was cheating.
You got home that morning?
Yes.
You got into an argument at what point? Once you got in the door?
Right in front of the door.
Before going in?
Yes.
Before going in, she was at the door. You were outside of the door.
Yes.
Arguing.
Yes. We were arguing outside. She thought that I cheated on her because she smelled perfume on my work uniform. It probably went on for maybe 2 hours, and I was tired.
2 hours of arguing on the porch?
Yes.
All right, you're lying. Go ahead. Ma'am, let me allow you to continue. And this man says that you all argued on the porch for 2 hours.
Yes, and he tried to run me over with his car.
Okay, was that before or after you obtained the restraining order?
That was before.
Sir, you tell me about your counterclaim for emotional distress, things she's done to you.
Basically, she had my daughter put in intensive care through neglect by not having heat in the house. She put her in front of an open oven.
Okay.
She was rushed by ambulance to the hospital.
Okay.
She was resuscitated twice and brought back to life. And I had no idea because of that restraining order that my daughter was even born. Okay. CPS came to my door, started knocking on my door, calling me the monster, asking me how I could do that to my child. And I did not even know. I didn't even know she was born because of that restraining order. She don't even have my last name because of that restraining order.
And the restraining order is there because deservedly so. You deserve to have a restraining order on you. Now, what do you mean by putting the child in front of the oven? Describe that.
She put her in front of the oven in order to warm her up because she was suffering from hypothermia.
All right. And what was the result of the hospital visit?
She was taken into protective custody and placed in foster care.
And what day was did she go to the doctor, the child?
I believe it was March 10th, 3 days after she was born.
Okay. And do you have anything that suggests she did something wrong? Because babies go to the doctor 3 days. Or do you have anything that describes all the things you allege?
Yes, sir.
Read it to me. Let him go.
The child has suffered, or there is a substantial risk that the child will suffer serious physical harm or illness as a result of the failure or inability of his or her parent or legal guardian to supervise or protect the child adequately.
Circle that. Ma'am, was the child removed from you?
Yes.
Why?
They were saying that I didn't feed her for 24 hours and that she was suffering from hypothermia, apnea, and...
All right. Now let's get to your defamation. How did he defame you?
Because he keeps bringing this up when we've been to court.
Is it true?
No.
So they concluded it, though.
Right.
Okay. So once it was determined by an independent source, professionals, doctors, police, once it was determined that that occurred, the child was removed by your own admission, I believe that you were negligent. He has not defamed you. He told the truth on you. Your counterclaim for $5,000 for emotional distress is what happened with the child.
She hasn't let me see my daughter. Basically, these are the only memories I have of my daughter.
All right, but sir, let me just tell you, that's not the issue you need to try and prove. The custody issue is not something you need to try and prove in terms of emotional distress. Emotional distress is something that is extraordinary, it is uncommon, and it is outrageous. Parents arguing over custody with a child is not uncommon, it's not irregular, and it's not outrageous. So you might want to argue something about how it affected you when your child was hospitalized as a result of her negligence.
I have not had visitation with her.
All right.
And I was granted visitation, Your Honor.
You were granted visitation,
yes,
and she's denied it.
Yes.
That happens very commonly.
Yes.
Your Honor, that's not true.
So that's not anything that I'm going to grant you emotional distress on. Ma'am, you were indeed determined to be unfit and negligent, and they took your child because of that. So he did not defame you. I will determine that she has not caused you emotional distress by engaging in a family dispute, which occurs very often. Go back and deal with your custody dispute like everybody else does. In the meantime, both your cases are dismissed. Have a good day.
I'm going to keep going through court, hopefully hire an attorney so I will have time to spend with my daughter.
I won't be seeing the defendant, except for in court.